All right, we are going to do a quick one. I had a few minutes because everyone's not coming home right away. So I was like, you know what? I can get started on something. Let me get Amazon going here. So that's what we're going to do. So I am doing this much later than I usually do these things, but I've got about an hour. So let's see if we can set up this mini PC in an hour and get it functional. Now this is, you'll find this on Amazon with an N200 chip. This is the N100 version, so the one on Amazon will perform a little better. It's expensive in the sense that it costs more than like a GM K-Tech mini PC would fully decked out. But it's MSI, so you have perhaps a little more of a reputable company to buy from, and they have a domestic presence here in the US. So there's a little more safety involved with this one versus the other one. So that's, that might be one reason to consider it. And I am on the fence as to whether or not I will do a full review of it, but we're going to do a live stream of it at least. And this one I actually paid for with my own funds. I got this through Flip the other day. So that's what we're going to do. Let me get my stuff going here. And Debbie Bernhardt is the first one in. Yeah, these are popular on my channel. They weren't for a while, and now they are again. So people like this kind of stuff. So yeah, the Amazon link will take you over to Amazon where this the N200 version of this lives. And I'm going to move quickly today because I don't know when my family's coming home. So I wanted to get started on this today. I had a couple of other projects that took up some time, so I'm like, you know what, I'm going to get this done if I can. So I am coming in fresh here. I haven't even opened this up, as you can see. Now this does not come with an operating system. It does not come with any storage. It doesn't come with any RAM. It is bare bones. And as I'm taking it apart here, I can see that it lacks some things that we have on other mini PCs. So out of the gate, what I'm noticing is that your two Ethernets here, which is nice to have two Ethernets, are 1 gig only and not 2.5 like we're seeing on a lot of the other ones these days. We've got a DisplayPort output, an HDMI output, two USB 2.0s. And on the front, we got a USB 3, and this is a little 10 you'll see next to it there. So that indicates that this is a 10 gig port there. This is a USB Type-C, also 10 gig, with display outputs. It's a full service port. And it has dual band wireless, but I'm not sure what the Ethernet is. We'll find out in a little bit. And it's got one of those protectors over the glass there. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. Yeah, I'm trying to get back into the live thing. I was like, you know what? I've got a few minutes. I had meant to start working on this today. I was like, you know what? Let me open it up and do a live stream while we do it. So there you go. Hey, Tech Time with Eric, thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. Good to see you as always. I missed Retro World Expo this year. I was hoping to get to it, but couldn't get to it. Retro Tech wants to know, are they popular as NAS devices? Yeah, I think they are popular for that. Actually, today, I didn't have time to dive down this rabbit hole yet. But today, I actually got one of these in that is a NAS. And it has like a Linux NAS OS on it, but you can install whatever you want on it. So we're going to be looking at that one soon. I've got a little bit of business traveling to do this week, so I'm not going to get to it till I get back. But when I do return, that will be one of the things that we look at here. So here's your power adapter. This is a Chickeny, and it's a 65-watt power adapter. Not USB-C, though. It is a barrel plug on there. Oh, you went to Puerto Rico. That sounds like fun. And Poorly Buffalo's got a Minisform MS01. Yeah, they're good. I like the Minisforms. There's some good mini PC options out there. A lot of them kind of originate in the same factory, but they're all good. And there's a VESA mount here for mounting this on the back of a display. So now what we got to do is crack this thing open and see what is not inside, because we got to do some stuff. So I got this the other day. This is a fun little screwdriver. I have it in my Amazon thing, so if you want to go look for it, it's on sale today, as a matter of fact. It's called the Wow Stick. It's got a little light on there. Isn't that cool? So if you're on the YouTube side, if you click on the Amazon link, it'll take you right in there. And I've been having fun with this little thing. I always use those universal screwdrivers, but now I don't have to do any effort. I can just stick it in here, Oops. It's got some good torque on it, as you can see. All right. It looks like these stay in, I think. Yeah. So you just have to loosen up a little bit. So these are tightened more than this little thing can handle, but there we go. I've been having fun with this little screwdriver. And it charges up by USB-C. And ever since I got it, I haven't had to unscrew much stuff, so that's been kind of it. So there you go. Debbie uses a USB M2 5G LTE module. That's pretty cool. So you replace the Wi-Fi with that. Well, this comes off super clean. And what do we have in here? Well, we've got what I'm not sure about if it's NVMe or if it's M-SATA. I'm assuming NVMe, which is what we're going to try first. But there's not much in here. Now, there is a SATA connector, but I don't see in the box. Maybe there's something else in the box here. Oh, yep. So if we wanted to, there's a little spot on the motherboard here, right there. I think that's what that is. I'm not sure what that one is. There's a SATA connector right there. So they give you an adapter here that you plug into the motherboard, and then you can use a SATA drive. So you could use one of these and just screw it into the case. But what we're going to do is use this guy, because I have one. I have not had a computer to install this one in yet, so now I do. I just have drives all over the place. So we'll unwrap this sucker and install it real quick. This is the Sabrent 1 terabyte rocket. More than this computer can handle, but it will at least work just fine. So we'll get the storage installed. We're going to install Linux on this real quick. So who else is popping in here? I did not get the Pixel 9. They usually send me the Pixels, but they've had a little bit of a dust-up over this Team Pixel thing. That's how they were sending me the phones. And all of a sudden, they went from sending these things to product reviewers to not sending them to product reviewers. So I'm out of luck there. By the way, this hard drive comes in a metal case. That's pretty cool. All right, so this will go in here. I got to just unscrew this little screw here. And what else we got here? What voltage? I'm not sure what voltage this runs at. This will be like, let's see, the power supply, if that's what you're referring to, is it does 100 to 240, so it'll work anywhere in the world. And of course, it's got the US power connector that it came with here. Yeah, no steering wheel inside. Monty is here. Hello there. Good to see you. Wow, my Alienware is getting around. I hope it gets working well still. That thing's got some miles on it. But yeah, this is a cool screwdriver. So if you click over on the Amazon link, I have it now featured in the product carousel. So 2 people have clicked on it so far, and you get the screwdriver, and you get all this other stuff. So you get like they even give you a little spudger thing, and you've got like all the different types of screwdriver things that you could imagine. I don't know if this came with it or not. They just somehow made it into the thing, and they also give you a case to keep it all together, which is really handy. Yeah, so it's definitely, when you've got a lot of screws to do, like if there's a laptop that I'm working on, it's definitely helpful for that. Now, what I don't know is what kind of RAM this takes. I'm assuming DDR5. I should probably look this up. So what I'm going to do is actually take RAM out of one of my other mini PCs to get this going. Thanks for stopping by, Debbie. James Randolph is here. Martin is here. This is an Intel N100 with no RAM at all. So I'm going to look at the instructions here and see what kind of RAM it takes. Actually, it has no RAM, no OS. And here's the deal. Like, if you were to go on Amazon right now, you will find a computer with RAM and storage for less than what this costs on the entry level. But the one that they offer right now is they're offering a N200, and this is the N100 one. But what I don't have in here is what kind of RAM that it takes. I'm assuming it's whatever the other one that I have takes. So we'll try it, see what happens. The worst thing that'll happen is it doesn't work. So I'm going to go grab my little GMK Tech PC. We're going to borrow its memory. We will return it, but I don't have any other RAM that is accessible at the moment. But I think we've got like 16 gigs here. Now, like most of these N100 mini PCs, this is, let's see, this one's got DDR, yeah. Well, whatever it is, I'm gonna plug this one in, see if this works. So this came out of this guy. So we'll see what happens. That's right, it's on sale. Get your screwdrivers. So it's on sale for $50, 6% off. And you got a coupon, so even better. How many PCI Express lanes on an N100? Not many. I actually don't know the answer to that question. I think it's, uses DDR4 3200. So what do I have here? Oh, that's what I have here. This is DDR4. Perfect. So this should work. So we'll pop that in here. Is it going in? Yeah. All right, the RAM's installed. Storage is installed, RAM's installed. So now we can just put it back together again, because all the stuff we need is installed. Just got to make sure I get it on the right way here. See, this is how bad I am at computers. I never get things back on the way I found them. So I'm assuming it goes in this direction, maybe? Let's see. There we go. Okay, so now we got that installed. I think my screwdriver might need a charge. But it's a lot faster than doing it yourself, right? There we go. So that's it. I think all we got to do now is just get some Linux going. So I've got Ubuntu. People say I pronounce it incorrectly, so you can correct me in the comments. All right. Yeah, so no OS on this one. So that GMK Tech that I just took the memory out of, that comes with Windows 11 Pro, which is crazy. All right. It's a little... yeah, that's good enough. It'll be okay. It's actually a pretty nicely built machine. It feels pretty solid. I'll charge up my screwdriver later. All right, let's move some of this stuff out of the way. And I have, somewhere on the desk here, my Ubuntu install drive. And I just got to find a cable to connect it to the computer with. There's one. All right, so we're going to plug, so here's my Linux boot disk. Plug that into the front port here, and we'll get the power going. It's only Ubuntu. Yeah, I actually, you know what's funny is like I've decided that I'm just going to pronounce things the way that I want to pronounce them, because when it offends people that I mispronounce things, it drives more engagement. So I don't mind being corrected because corrections equal clicks. So 9 PCI Express lanes is the answer to the prior question. Screwdriver's the torque of the town. There you go. Reese Edwards is here. Hello there. And yeah, you know, guitar picks make good spudgers. So you've got dual purpose there. Christian's joining us from Holland. We got Martin in there before, but here you are again. It's always hard to keep up with all the chats. All right, let's get to work here. So we're going to take this plug here and get it installed. And I got a few other things I have to connect up here too. So let me get this is actually a nice long cable. So check it out. You all haven't seen me yet. I haven't been on camera yet. Look how long this plug is. Wow. So we will plug it in. connect it up here. But yeah, you've got to do your own RAM, storage, and operating system on this one. And we'll plug that in there. I got to find an HDMI cable. The one that I had yesterday is probably still on the floor here, so we can just use that one again if I can see where it went. Yeah, so I've got a narrow window of time here because my family is at the beach trying to get in. You know, the school started, but they went to the beach after school. So they are chilling out, and I am trying to get some stuff done. I got a working weekend because I have this trip that I'm going on, business trip. You will find out about it soon, as a matter of fact. And when I return from that trip, or even when I'm still on the trip, you will see what I'm doing. Nothing exciting, but it is, I'm looking forward to it. So you will all know what that's about. But whenever I go anywhere, I have to do like a lot of work. So that's the plan. All right. So I see 11 of you have clicked on the screwdriver. So it's on sale today on Amazon. I'm going to sell stuff right now. So help a guy out here. Click the affiliate link, buy yourself this cool screwdriver. You get all this stuff in it. It's been great. I found out about this from Mr. Add-ons, who does all the cool Mr. stuff, and he uses this to build Mr. stuff. So it's good enough for him. It's definitely going to be good enough for me. And by the way, if you're into the Mr., I got the new aluminum case. Isn't that cool? So I'm going to do an update on how I'm retroing soon. Okay, so I've got, let me just get the Ethernet hooked up. That way when it updates, it'll be a lot faster. Only 1 gig Ethernet on this one. And you know what? This thing's damaged. It's like a little, I'll show it to you in a minute. All right, we'll plug it into that one there. All right, let's turn it on here. Let's see if we get anything. I have to switch to the right input here on the monitor too. Let's see if it boots up. If it doesn't boot up, we got the wrong memory in it, which could be the case here. This might be a very short stream if that's the case. But I definitely put in DDR4 RAM. Yeah, it didn't connect. Let's turn it off and turn it back on again. There it goes. That felt a little better that time. I don't know if that will make a difference or not, but. Now it turned off and turned back on again. There we go. All right. Hey, look at that. Okay, so everything we put in was good. Let's see if it, yeah, it recognized the drive. It actually has 2 SATA ports on it. So we should explore that a little bit more. Integrated peripherals, the 2 LAN controllers are enabled. Obviously has the shared memory. All right, so I'm just going to move my, yeah, let's override the boot here and go to the UFI on the Micron. All right, see what we get here. Yeah, so surprisingly, the N97 is faster than the N100 for some reason. Way to confuse people. Yeah, it looks like the, yeah, it didn't like it initially, and now it does. So let's see if we can get Ubuntu up and running. It looks like we're getting there. Hi, Victor. It has been a while. Yes. Yeah, business is tight. We got to move some screwdrivers. 13 clicks. We can get it up to 20. Yeah, I've heard that, right? Ooh, a demolition derby. That's got to be kind of fun to go to. Yeah, so you guys are all going to screw up how I pronounce Ubuntu, which is totally fine. All right, so now Ubuntu is booting up. It's got a 4K output, as I can see here. You see how tiny everything looks? So I don't know the answer to this question because I don't think I've looked at an N200 yet, but I'd love to see what others have said. And this uses DDR4. So this is like your standard run-of-the-mill mini PC. The reason why you might want to consider a mini PC from MSI, and I'll zoom in so you can see what I'm doing here. So we're going to relaunch the installer here. You know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to make this display visible. So we'll go to 200% here. So 4K 60 works, by the way. But I can't get it to apply my, there we go. Okay, so now we've got a little more visible of a display here. So there, we're good to go there. I just got to run the installer. And now we'll get things installed here. What I like about Ubuntu is how easy it is to install. So I'm just going to do the basics here, right? I'm going to do the third-party stuff. We'll just do all this stuff because we got plenty of bandwidth here. There you go. Get your Jeeps going. Good evening, Norman. Thanks for stopping by. I'll pronounce GIF any which way you guys want me to pronounce it. I'm easy. All right, so we're going to erase the disk and install Ubuntu. And I will give this my name here. MSI Cubi. I got to use a password I'll remember here. So let me type that in real quick. All right. Hit next. Got in New York. Perfect. I mean, is this easy or what? I would say that we're going to have this running faster than we could get Windows working on it. That's what I say. Yes, there was a demo. Where's it up at? I know where you're talking about. Yeah, I think I had friends that went to one of those. I always wanted to go to a demolition derby. I am having a good day. I actually had a very productive day. I got a lot done today, so I'm really happy with myself. So I call it data, not data. That's a generational thing. All right, so it's installing the system and all the applications we need. This should go pretty quick. We got a fast NVMe in there. We've got a fast little Crucial drive hooked up to it. So it should go pretty quick. And yeah, like I said, this is the MSI Cubi N. Now, the one I'm linking to on Amazon is the N200 version, which I think is going to be a little quicker than this one. Bazite is on my list of things to play with. I just learned a little bit about it this week, and I'm eager to play around with it. And I actually have a little more high-powered one that I'm going to mess around with, too. So Bazite, if you're not familiar, is like a gaming-centric Linux distribution. It kind of gives you a Steam box. And EMU, here's another one that I screw up the pronunciation on. So I did that video on EMU deck. I call it EMU deck. EMU deck. Drives people nuts when I say it that way. But they now have a mini PC that they're going to be marketing. It looks like a little Dreamcast. It's pretty cool. But it's expensive for how they've configured it. I got to look at it a little bit more. This does have a fan on it, but it's very quiet so far. Now the price point, as this thing is doing its thing, bare bones, this is $189 without an operating system, without RAM, and without storage. But that's for the N200 one. I got this in through Flip for $189 with the N100. So, you know, it's not competitively priced versus like the GM K-Tech one. So, for example, you can get. I'm going to add this to the. Let me add this to the carousel on Amazon. We're gonna hawk some more stuff today. It's Friday. I got to make the numbers here. My boss is on my case. I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to sell you stuff. I'm just trying to give you some comparatives. So let me pull up GM K-Tech. What is this one? This is the G3. This thing has become my favorite device of the year so far, just because I'm getting a lot out of it. So, all right, I just added it to the carousel. And let me tell you about this one. So if you go over to my Amazon link, this right now is selling at 22% off for like 140 bucks. It has RAM, storage, and a Windows 11 operating system, so it's not bare bones. The difference between this and that is that if this breaks, you're on your own. If this goes, you've got MSI to call. So that is that. But let me pull up what this one comes with. Because this thing is, I love this thing. It is, and it's a great Plex server. The N100s in general, you know, this will be a good Plex server also. They do hardware transcoding on Plex without breaking a sweat. They are super, super powerful little chips, and they don't consume all that much power. So if you're trying to get into Docker and stuff, like this is great for that. So 140 bucks, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gig storage, $209 for 16 gigs and 1 terabyte with Windows 11. So it is a much better deal than the bare bones. But you don't have as much support for this one. The other thing I like about it, I took the RAM out to put it in this one, but the other thing I like about it is that I have 2 hard drives in here. So this is the one it came with, and then it has an mSATA slot here. So I installed an mSATA drive. This is a cheap one that I found. So I boot Linux off of this, and I boot Windows off of this. And earlier, last month when we did our Plex video, I installed Docker, the Docker version of Plex, which worked great on it. And if this, I had a 16 gig stick in here, so you have 16 gigs of RAM. You could do a lot of like low end serving. You know, as a NAS, it's probably not great as a NAS just because you don't have a lot of storage options that aren't USB, but incredibly powerful. If I remember correctly, I think this is 2.5 gig Ethernet also on this one. So it's a great value. And if you want a fun computer to play around with, this is like a no-brainer. It's so inexpensive. I mean, full disclosure, they did send this to me, but you know me. I mean, if I find something I like it. So I've been using this a lot. It's a really fun little computer. So these are great for like running little server applications. The M100's gotten really powerful. Great for media serving. I use a mini PC over there for my amateur radio stuff. It's more than enough for that. So there's a lot of things you can do with these things. And where I'm at now, because I know a lot of people like the Raspberry Pi, which I do too, but where I'm at now with it is that these things are almost the same price at this point. When you factor in all the stuff, you get a full-on PC versus something that's more constrained. So that's my take on it. So we're almost done installing. Let me take some more questions here while we're waiting. Grayson's here. Hello there. I can do a lot with Linux containers. I love containers. And Linux Mint is one I've really got to start playing with a little bit too. What I like about Ubuntu, and I'm doing this on purpose to drive you guys crazy. What I like about Ubuntu is that they have a live version that I can just boot off of this disk. So when I'm testing PCs and I want to see how well the hardware gets detected, I just pop that in and we're off and running with it. So that's what I usually go with here. Oh, great. So, of course, today's the day that new, new flavors of Ubuntu are out. This is a good one from Chris Ainsley. Which year will be the year of the Linux desktop? I think we're getting there. Because what I've seen with Ubuntu is just how good it is. It's easy to set up. You saw that we basically got set up here with like 3 clicks, and we're off and running already. I first tried to install Linux in 1998, and I did get it working. But it was like, it took a computer science degree to get this. I got the command line up easy, but after that it was like, oh, the X server and all the other stuff. It's a lot of work. Yeah, I'm beyond impressed with these chips. And you know, part of me thinks that they actually can do more and they're just purposely keeping them from getting too powerful. Yeah, and I got the Pi 5. You know, it's nice. I mean, they're good, but the magic's gone for me. Because there was something about when you could get a $35 PC and you could never find anything remotely close to that price. But now when you look at the 5 and you factor in the keyboard, the power supply, the storage, you're here, right? So, but yeah, I would say, you know, if you're tuning in on Amazon, you'll see that I have this one currently focused on there. This one is still the one to beat. And it's not necessarily on performance. I expect these two to perform pretty much the same. But from a value proposition, there's risk involved with this, but the value proposition is you get storage. So for 140 bucks, 8 gigs of RAM, Windows 11, 256 gigabytes of storage, power supply, you're good to go. This one has to be worked on. You got to put RAM, storage, and operating system on there. But we're done. We're ready to reboot. So let's go into Linux. But this one's currently selling on Amazon with an N200, and I haven't tried the N200 yet. So I would expect the N200 version of this, which is what I'm linking to, will perform better than this one will. And yes, David makes a good point here too. It'd be great for BBSing, for sure. I'm still logging into BBSs. I go into Captain's Quarters 2. If you've all seen Captain's Quarters 2, that's a great BBS. Look it up. And Tech Time with Eric is getting into some RISC 5 ITX. Go for it. Power sipping. And look at that, we're ready to go here. So let me log into my account. And now, Linux. So how many minutes are we into this stream? So in the course of a half an hour, I took this out of the box, I added storage, memory, an operating system, and we're here. How about that? All right, so let's finish up here. And what I want to do first, let's get the display back to a normal setting here. So I like to go to 200%, which basically doubles up the pixels, because we are at 4K. So it's working at 60 hertz in 4K. I want to check the Wi-Fi. It works. The Ethernet is working. The Bluetooth is, let's see if it sees anything. Here, I'll turn on my controller here and see if it sees it when I put it into pairing mode. Yep, so Bluetooth is working. And this game controller should show up here. Let's see what happens. And Grayson Petty, thank you for your continued membership, by the way. And he's looking at using mini PCs for server clusters. They'd work great for that too. Yeah, they're great for so much stuff. I mean, they are full, you know, it's incredible. And they don't consume that much power. These things, like when they're idling, are like 7 watts or something. It's really minimal. It's pretty crazy. All right, so we've got Ethernet, Wi-Fi. Let's boot up Firefox here, see how we can do a little web browsing. Go to my blog here. Whoops. Blog.Lon.TV. Do you know I have a blog? If not, you do now. There you go. Look how fast it is. So that's working great. You know what we could do real quick? I can install the Brave browser, which is the one I usually use, because that's a So they have a little app store here. And we can just install Brave here. So, if you're looking to get into Linux, I really like Ubuntu because it's so easy. Oh, wow, I'm the Brown's looking at actually going with a mini PC to replace his Alienware. Yeah, some of these mini PCs are really powerful. So I already run a RISC laptop, as a matter of fact. I have a MacBook Air. So that's my RISC laptop. But yeah, RISC is making a lot of ground. So we'll wait for Brave to finish installing. We'll run the browserbench.org speedometer test there. Poorly Buffalo says Linux desktop use is at nearly 5% now. And one other thing is that every Chromebook has that Linux mode to it, which is great. Like I've been using that quite a bit. I use it in every video whenever we do a Chromebook thing. And Grayson Petty, thank you for the super chat. 60 hertz is more than good enough for single-player games. I have a visual disability and cannot tell the difference between 60 and 120. You have an LG C2. I've got an LG that only does 60 also. I can't remember what model it is. It's getting old at this point. It's like 2 presidential administrations ago. I think I got it like 2016, maybe. But there you go. Yeah, it's pretty slick. So you're not going to run a lot of heavy-duty graphical apps on here, but for the basics, if you're doing some work. So we'll run over to the browser bench speedometer benchmark test here, and we'll do a quick version 3.0 test and see how it chugs along here. And remember, it's rendering at 4K 60. And what's funny with these PCs in the past, they always felt a little sluggish at 4K, and now they're feeling normal. Yeah, I'm with you, Chris. And that's what I mean. You could spend the same money decking out a Pi 5 or get one of these, and you'll get this. It's crazy. Totally. The N100 is it's probably, I would say it's probably one of the more innovative chips that Intel's ever come up with because it's incredibly powerful, it is incredibly power efficient, and it's super affordable. I mean, geez, if you go on, I'm not trying to sell you here, but if you go to my link, you can get one of these that runs like that for $139. Upgrade it, do whatever you want to it. It's insane. Okay, so we got a score of 10. So what does that mean? So if we go to my chart here, if you go to Lon.TV/benchmarks, we can figure out where this one comes into play here. So, yeah, it's right in the margins here. So just about every N100 based machine I've looked at is around 10 or 11. This one's at 10, which is right where you'd want it to be. So this will be the MSI Cubi N. This is a N100 10. That's all you need. That's all you need. Pretty quick. Yeah, you can get an ITX, build a little tower out of it. And JoJo's got one of these running as a Plex server, no issues. Yeah, I've got the Docker thing running. I'm about to redo my entire Plex server. It's going to be an upcoming video, I'm sure. Because what I'm going to do, I've been running off my WD MyCloud now since I got it, which is, I think it's like 8 or 9 years old at this point. I did have to swap out one of the hard drives that went bad. But I think what I'm going to do is move it over to some kind of N100 based server. And I just got in, I haven't even opened it up yet. It came in around lunchtime. It's an N100 based NAS, but you can put whatever OS you want on it. So I'm thinking about doing Unraid. So I think that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, so this did come in a little lower, except the fact that there's a margin of error to this. So you can see here it's like plus or minus 0.5. And all of them come in like plus or minus 5.5 or 1. So they're all pretty much in the same bucket there. So pretty cool. All right, so let's do, let's see if Steam is on here. Yeah, look at that. Now, I don't know if this comes with the Proton stuff. And this is not like a gaming machine, so you can't do much gaming on it. But what I have found with it is that it's pretty good for emulation. I wonder if we could do EMU deck. Let's see if EMU deck's got some kind of Linux thing. Let's see. Let's go to download. Do all our things there. Yeah, I got a Linux thing going here. Let's see. Okay, pick your flavor. I'll do the free one for now. Oh, it's got like a little shell script. All right, so let's jump into my terminal and see what that's all about. Let's see, CD downloads. See, this is the other thing. When you have one of these computers, you can just run stuff sudo, because if it breaks it, who cares? You just reinstall it. All right, so let me just do a quick password here. Nope, didn't find it. Let me just hit. Oh, it's EMU deck. I got it right. Huh. Oh, I think we have to do it this way. Hang on. Huh, didn't find it. Why can't it find it? Maybe I'll just paste that in. That's all it's looking to do is that. Let's just paste that in. Oh, I did SH maybe? See, I'm not up on my, oh, sudo apt install curl. Then we can get it working. All right, let's do that real quick. See how good I'm getting at Linux, everybody? Oh, something went wrong. You might still be able to extract the contents of this app image and run the app image extract option. We got to have Fuse to run. Okay, so let's do. What is Fuse? I guess that's what it is. Okay, let's just install that. I'm assuming I'm installing the right thing here. Let's see what happens. Low risk. Yeah, it's amazing how good this is. I mean, this is like, oh, good. So here's one. So the one that I'm linking to on Amazon. So is the barebones kit that I'm linking to is the N200, and Ben here has one. And he uses it as a server with a 5-bay Sabrent. Oh, that's cool. It runs full server at 6 watts. The drive bays take more power. Isn't that incredible? That's what I mean. They're miracle chips. David here uses his as a pfSense firewall. Perfect for that too. And we should be able to work with Proton too. How about that? So is that something I can just install here? Let's see if Proton's one of the, no. All right, let's just try the EMU deck thing and see if that works. Okay, now we got another problem. Fatal, running as root without no sandbox is not supported. All right, I'll have to come back and play with this longer. Yeah, I'll try without running it as sudo. Nope. That might take a little bit more work. We'll get there. Am I planning to get an iPhone 16? Probably just because I'm hoping the video, you know, every year the video has been getting better and better on these phones. So I'll probably get one. And mine's getting beat up at this point. My screen's all scratched up. So I usually trade these in and get another one. So it's a business expense. And Ben says you can also install up to 32 gigs of RAM. Can you believe that? Like on a little mini PC? Totally crazy. So yeah, this thing's pretty quick. Let me try something else, because the other day, let me find the link to this. So you all know I'm a big fan of Wing Commander, right? So the other day, I had my stream, and we were looking at, this guy's got this project called Wing Leader. It is a Wing Commander reboot. I don't have any audio coming out of this right now, but check this out. Doesn't that look awesome? So what he's done is he's built kind of like a reboot, a remaster, if you will, of Wing Commander. This is running in the browser right now, by the way. And now this N100 is rendering this at 4K, so it's going to be a little sluggish. If I bring the resolution down, it might be a little quicker. But what he's doing is he's building. Look how cool this looks. He's building out Wing Commander as it looked like on the box. And for those of you who remember Wing Commander, the DOS game, the box art did not match the actual game. This is what it was supposed to look like. And what he's done is these are 3D models that he's rendered. His name is Howie Day. He's rendered them to look like scaled sprites, even though they're full 3D models. And this is an earlier build, so like where he's at right now is even like it looks even better than this. And he's got he posts up on X, Twitter, every day with progress that he's making. It looks amazing. It is so cool. So and it's even crazier is that it's running actually pretty well on here in a browser. This is the Unity web player. So it's wild. Dragon Bloggers, thank you for the follow. All right. So I'm running low on time here, but I'll take a few more questions before we close out. Yeah, I've always found that the computers can go a little further than you think. Even like my Synology NAS devices, too, I've been able to push a little bit. So Leo Gaming says, I have a Synology. Should I use a VM or Docker? Well, yeah, I think if you're looking to run the operating system as you see it here, I would run it as a virtual machine. But you can run Ubuntu in Docker and have it do more headless kind of stuff. But we'll see what others in the chat say. But yeah, this is a nice little, pretty powerful little machine here. Cool stuff. Let me log into Steam real quick, because it should be installed at this point. And I don't know how Proton works now, so we'll experiment with that a little bit. But I'm really impressed with this. And so right now we're installing Steam here. And I'll log into my Steam account, and we'll see how it does. But so far, it's been running great. So I can put this on the thing here. Boop. And of course, we got our software updates. Got to make sure you keep those up to date as well. We'll run those a little later. Yep, got to do all that. We will definitely do our updates. But if you've never played with Linux before, I know Linux Mint is very popular. Everyone's got their favorite distribution. But you saw here in less than a half an hour, we were able to build this machine and install Ubuntu and be up and running with it. I think that's remarkable. But where did Steam go? Steam disappeared. Did it crash on us? Or is it running somewhere and I can't see it? I don't know where it went. I gotta remember all my commands here. Let's go into the task manager and see if we can see what's running. Oh, there it comes. Okay, let me get my phone out and do my Steam login. By the way, Steam's got this great thing now. You can use your phone with a QR code. Very quick login process. Okay. So now we are in Steam. So the question is, on Steam here, what is in here that we can run? So is Proton like something I can install through Steam? Like how do we find Proton? Oh, it's here, okay. Which one should I install? There's like a million Protons. Is it Proton 9? So the best device to run a Plex server that can handle transcoding. You got it right here. Or the one I'm working with here. The ones that I really recommend now, just from a price standpoint, even just on price alone, an N100 based mini PC is spectacular for that. And I've become more and more of the mindset that Linux Plex is the better one at the moment. And the reason is that on Linux, your Intel N100 will do the HDR tone mapping. So if you have a lot of HDR content and you're transcoding it, you're not just playing it direct stream, these chips can handle the transcoding of not only the video, but also the tone mapping in hardware. And I just did a video, you'll see it soon. Actually, I did one already on this. If you go on my Linux Plex video, I was able to transcode 2 movies simultaneously, one of them tone mapping, and we were only using like 30% of the overall resources. So it's amazing what these little things can do. Okay, so we have to go into settings and enable something. So let's go and do that real quick. Compatibility. Okay. Enable Steam Play for supported titles. Where else should I go here? Cloud in-game. It may just be that I have to do something more. Library. Low bandwidth mode, low performance mode, disable community content. I'm waiting for Proton Experimental. Okay, I'll install the experimental one. 1.3 gigabytes. It's pretty big. We'll throw that one on there. So I'm of the mindset that if you can afford 16 gigs of RAM, go with that. So right now, I'm not home shopping clubbing here, but if you go on my link, you can buy this for $200 with 16 gigs of RAM and a terabyte. And then you can crack it open here, get an MSI, pop that in there, you got even more space. And then of course you got the USB option too. But if you put 16 gigs in, you could do other stuff with it at the same time. But 8's fine, I think. I mean, I wasn't seeing it use all that much RAM. It's incredible how efficient all this stuff has gotten. It's really amazing. All right, so let's go in and see what I have playable on here. Okay, let me see if I can run the 3D Mark benchmark on here. So it won't let me install it. It's available for Windows. Steam Play equals, okay. Got it. So let's go into settings. And we'll turn on Steam Play and compatibility. And we'll restart. Thank you for the super chat, Ross. Much appreciated. Yeah, it's a rare. I should do more of these Friday night streams. It looks like people come in and watch on Fridays. And I'm good until my wife shows up. And then I got to feed people. Because they're going to come home hungry. So I'm assuming Steam is currently rebooting. And if you're just tuning in the course of a half an hour, 30 minutes, we installed RAM, storage, and an operating system and got this bare bones MSI computer up and running. Pretty simple. All right, we're connected there. And I'm assuming Steam is reloading, but maybe not. It did not reload on its own. Okay, so there we go. So now we can pop in. So let's try my... Now, there's a limit to what you can run on these things. So you're not going to be able to do like AAA titles on here. But I think we were able to get like Grand Theft Auto 5 working at like a super low resolution. All right, we'll let that install real quick. Oh, cool. The Crimson Diamond is a new EGA-style pacer-based graphic adventure. I like those kinds of things. I loved the Sierra Online games back in the day. And JoJo's running 8 gigs on Windows 11, so for Plex, so it'll work well there. Grand Admiral Thrawn is in the house. Good evening, sir. How is your conquering of the Outer Rim going? Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5 Lite, that's right. Run it at like 800 by 600. But it'll do better than you thought. So 140 for this one comes with 256. So 200 for for a little bit more. What, $60 more? You get 16 gigs and a terabyte. But I don't know what brand that they. So this is the 16 gigabyte one, which is now the RAM's in there now. But you get like this. Oh, it's a Mason Semiconductor hard drive. Actually, that's not a bad one. It's a SK from Korea, I think. Well, it's not. It's made in China, but it's Mason Semi. So it's actually not bad for parts. It was good. These GMK techs are really good. That's what I mean. Like this is going to be a tough one to decide how I do the review, because the reason to maybe pick an MSI over the GMK tech is there's less risk, right? The risk level is reduced because you can call MSI if you have a problem. But you're paying a lot more in the end. Although the MSI's got a, whatchamacallit, oops. Now it's not happy with me. Proton must be, you know, I started reading that series. All right, what's going on here? Needs attention. Okay. Now it's trying to launch. Let's see what happens here. Oh, it's going. So what we're doing right now is trying to run a game in a Windows benchmark using Proton in Linux. And if I remember correctly from my Steam Deck, I don't think it runs very well, but we'll see how it does. Yeah, I think that's how I ran it, 720p at 30, and it ran pretty well. I'm not going to have time to run GTA 5 on this right now, but I have done it. If you look at my, I think I ran it on the review for this one, if you check it out. This thing's appeared a lot in a lot of videos because it's been so good. And so far, I don't think I've found anybody who's not been happy with this. I mean, you have to know what you're getting, right? You're not getting a powerhouse computer. What you're getting is a computer that does more than you could ever expect it to do for what you're paying. You get 2 HDMI outputs on it. Is that crazy? Yes, I still have the Comcast 10 gig. I'll keep it until I don't think I'm moving anytime soon, but if I ever move, I would probably go. So what happened in my area, I'll put your question back up so you'll know what I'm talking about. In my area, we got Frontier, which is the phone company, did fiber everywhere. So now they've got, they have a 500 megabit, a 1 gigabit, a 2 gigabit, a 5, and a 7. The 7 is like $300 a month, but my 10 from Comcast is like $350 or something. I pay a lot for it, but I use it. And for me, what's been actually most beneficial with the Comcast connection is the stability of it. Fiber is a lot more stable than coax any day of the week. But the other thing that I've been really happy with, you'll do like let's get Wildlife installed real quick and see. Hardware may not be compatible. Oh, I'm running the demo, huh? It didn't take my key. I'll have to come back to that. We'll load up Time Spy. Here, I'll just run this one. I'll just run something that we can, can look on here. Yeah, you know, let's just play it. Let's let it get a game up. Let me find this like a low-powered game here. We can. You know what I need is an option to install something that you like, just so you know what you know will run. Do I have like? I guess a Half-Life 2 I could put on. The problem is that it takes these games are so big. Yeah, let's do Half-Life 2. Let me do a search for it real quick. Yeah, 6 gigs, we can handle that. What was I saying? I can't remember. Is this the real MSI? I'm assuming it's the real MSI. It came like fully branded. So here's the box. So the box, it looks legit MSI to me. And it's got like MSI materials in the box here, so I think it is. And I think years ago I reviewed like one of the first MSI Cubis. And I agree, yeah, there's not 2 NVMEs, the other one is MSATA. That's right. And the smaller, yeah, the G5 is like an N9. That thing was crazy fast. I reviewed that a little while ago. And transcoding has been great on it. So if you go and look at my, I did a video, my Plex sponsored video from last month. I did the Linux server on the cheap video. Maybe that was a month or two ago, whatever it was. Installed it on here. Amazing. And it's amazing in Windows too, except the fact that the Linux server will do the HDR tone mapping. Yeah, so I'm with you here. So and that's why I'm debating whether or not to do an actual review of this rather than just the stream today. This, because I mean we spent half the time talking about this one. It's a good value. They perform exactly the same. They've got the same chipset on board. Let me just go back to Half-Life 2 here. Oh, looks like it installed already. That was quick. The problem with the MSI is that it's expensive for what you're getting, which is not much. So we had to install RAM and storage and an operating system. This comes with Windows 11 Pro, RAM and storage for the price that you pay. The difference, though, is that if this breaks, you got to go deal with people in China. If this breaks, you call MSI domestically in your country of choice. So there's some value to the local support option, especially if you're buying this for a business purpose or whatever. Yeah, I have that on my list of things to play with. So I've got one of my higher powered machines that I'm going to install Bazite on. I've got an Intel, whatchamacallit, what's the new Intel chip? You know, the 5, whatever the new Intel thing is called. Core Ultra 5. Another GMK Tech one that I've got. Yeah, I agree, Budley. That's what's been so fun, is that they're so good for home lab projects. We've got like this really nice convergence of, that's what I love about the technology world, is that you get these convergences. So for example, online video happened because of advancements in video compression technology, advancements in hardware encoding of video, bandwidth from the internet providers to make it happen, increases in storage speeds, server performance to make this happen at scale. And here we are, I'm sending you video at 4K from my basement over my fiber optic internet connection. All those things had to happen for this to happen. And I'm seeing now in the home lab world that These Intel N100s are super powerful. You throw enough RAM at it. Docker is amazing for these kinds of projects. So easy to work with, so portable. Couple key commands and you've got all sorts of fun servers you can spin up. It's getting easier and easier, and the use cases are getting better and better. The open source projects are spectacular. There's a great directory called Awesome Self-Hosted if you're looking to get into home labbing that I would highly recommend because you can find a replacement for just about any commercial application at this point in there. Oh, they have an image of Windows you can download too, huh? Pretty neat. Yeah, that's true, Ed. You do have Amazon to back you up. So if you did have a problem, within a short period of time, for sure. Yeah, so I mean, if you don't mind taking on a little risk, I mean, it's not that expensive. So, you could buy 12 of them, and if one of them breaks, who cares? But no, it's a great. These are great little machines. Yeah, I don't know what Intel did, but whatever they did from the old version of these chips to these Alder Lake chips are just incredible. Oh wow, you've been with me a long time. The Swan security camera. We've come a long way, haven't we? Yeah, so that was my first experiment with video reviews. And that review took a lot of work. I'm trying to pull up my, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Here, let's load the game up. Seems to be performing okay. I'm trying to pull up that Steam thing where you can get the FPS. So we're at 4K right now. So it's not quite at 60 right here, but let me see if I can adjust down the, maybe we'll go down to 1080p on the video. Yeah, so this is running at 4K, and we're doing, I would say we're probably doing about 20, just about 20 FPS, it feels like to me. But it's still playable, isn't that crazy? 4K. But what we'll do here is we'll go down to 1080p. Now granted, this game is what, like 18 years old? But I'll tell you what, the computer I had when this game came out couldn't even run the game at 1080p, let alone 4K. And now for $140 you can you can do it. Yeah, it's much better. Oh yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, so great for older games for sure. Emulation's great on these things. Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. All right, I'll take a few more questions, then I got a jet here. But yeah, so by the way, coming back to the Swan thing, so I did that weekend. I did the Swan camera, and then I did another one for the Neat Receipt printer, and that was when I first got into Amazon Vine many years ago. And what was interesting was that I found that I was getting more engagement on reviews that I spent less time on, and so like the genesis of this is like to do the editing and the scripting, and it took a long time to put those videos together. And then that led me to like, how can I make this faster? So I started shooting my reviews live to disk down here in the actually in this very spot in the basement with a video switcher, and that really got the gears turning. Because the faster you can crank it out, the better, right? So, but yeah, it's amazing what you can run on Docker. Absolutely. Yeah, I will look at doing that. I don't keep a lot of them around after I review them, but like this one is going to stay in rotation. So yeah, I'm happy to do. And I put this thing through some abuse because it gets moved all over the house. I'm booting it up, formatting it, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, that's right. So back in the day, the Atom class CPUs were third class transportation. Now it's it's a whole different ballgame now. And if you're just tuning in on Amazon, so I saw a bunch of people just popped in, what I have selected right now is the one I would recommend getting just from a price standpoint, the GMK Tech, but the performance is the same on this as it is on the one that I've built here. So, but yeah, it's good stuff. And we can do something else here. So again, we're in Linux. Ubuntu Linux. So I could go in and let's do a sudo apt install LibreOffice. And I'll type my password in. And so now I am installing a full-on free Office suite. Rita Ann Scott, thanks for joining the chat in Amazon, and thanks for the follow. Actually, John Lukanik and Dragon Bloggers also followed me on Amazon here too. Yeah, there's no power consumption on these things at all. It's crazy. And this is what I love about doing the live streams, is that you give me some great ideas that make it into the final reviews. Because if I can answer every question with every review, then I'm good to go. All right. So we have, now it brings you back here, like what happened? Well, here's what happened. We go to the apps. We got a spreadsheet. Look how fast this loads up. Boom. Isn't that crazy? And this is 4K 60. It's got our spreadsheet here. They've got a great Office application called Writer, or word processor called Writer. Boom. And you know what's cool about LibreOffice is that it reminds me of Office 97, which to this day is still the best version of Office, I think. You don't have that stupid ribbon. You've got an interface here that makes sense. It's Word compatible, so you can load up Word documents on it. In fact, if you go to Open here, you can see all the different things it can open, I think. It used to show you that. I guess they changed the dialog here. Oh, yeah, all files. So look at the compatibility on this thing. It can load up everything. Word 2010, Word 2007, Word 97, Word 6.0. You go way back in time. Does it do Lotus? Lotus 1, 2, 3. Does it do Lotus? Let's see. Wow, it's got everything in here. Good Lord. PowerPoint. Yes, it has a presentation app too. Uh-oh, my wife's calling me. I got to call her back in a minute. See, now she's coming home, and now I'm going to have to feed people. Let's see. Yes, I used to use Lotus Omni Pro initially, and then I switched to, yeah, Word Pro. It actually supports Word Pro. Huh, I got to play around with this a little bit more. I have a bunch of Word Pro documents from college. So that's your Writer. And they have a little drawing application. Again, all open source and free. They have a database. You can connect to existing databases. Look at that. DBase. MySQL. Holy crap. I've not played with this. I can load up my Fox profiles on here, I bet. Pretty cool. So just so much stuff. All free. You don't have to pay for any of it. Operating system's free. The computer you got to pay for. But you buy this one, $140, you got yourself good to go. And Omnitech just joined me over on Amazon. Yes, I simulcast. So that's how that works. 10 Force Falls, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm going to be having to feed people in a few minutes. So I probably got to jet out of here before my wife gets home. And I have a few other thank yous here. I missed, I never see these super stickers in my vMix interface. So I want to thank Ross for your super sticker. Thank you very much for that. And Omnitech says, for office use, it's actually better to go with one of these. Oh yeah, no, it's perfect for that. Actually, years ago, I think it was the first MSI Cubi. At my old job, we were using a fanless atom-based MSI Cubi as our telephone operator switch box, which was kind of neat. You know, it was running. We had a digital phone system, and it was connecting to that. It was pretty cool. Vesser wants to know the power supply. That's true because hams like their 12-volt stuff. This is now. I'm talking about the one we've got on the desk here, the MSI. This is 19 volts. And the GMK Tech is, so here's another GMK Tech advantage. This is a 12 volt. 12 volt, 3 amps. So 12 volts on this one, 19 on that one. Kind of funny how they choose different types of power supplies like that. Shameless plug for new merch. Yes, I have merch. Is it in the thing there? I don't know. Budley, thank you very much for the super chat. Greatly appreciated. Your support has been awesome. I really appreciate the help. You're a big help with my my trip to DC too, so thank you for that. Let me go ahead and apply here. Okay, so I can add the merch. So here's some merch if you're watching on YouTube. I got my polo shirt here. Got 2 different polo shirts. I'm going to be adding more. I've got more on the to-do list. I got mugs. And what was the other? Oh, I got the other one is our full disclosure T-shirt. Here, I'll add all those to the mix there. So it's good stuff. Yeah, free PBX that's one thing I haven't played with is free PBX. I got to play with that too. So, but yeah, again, thank you very much for the super chat, Budley. So, Paul, where do you live? I'm surprised they're not cheap everywhere. I wonder what these things cost in China. They got to be really cheap in China. So, all right. Well, everybody, I'm pretty sure my wife is on her way home, so I'm gonna have to jet out of here before I get in trouble. But it was a pleasure spending some time with you all, and I'm going to be doing more live streaming now that my life is always fine. I have no complaints, but I've been so busy with a whole bunch of different things going on in life that things are finally settling down a bit. So I will have time to hop on during the day a little bit more than I have been. So long story, but I'm on my local school board. We had a mold problem at one of our buildings. So that has consumed me for the last year, but we're finally, knock on wood, making progress on that on that issue. They put me in charge of the project even though I didn't want to be. So lucky me. But we're getting there. Yeah, so the quality looks good. I haven't pushed it out too heavily yet on the merch because I ordered samples. I got a sample of the mug, which looks really nice. I have it upstairs, otherwise I'd show it to you. So the mug looks great. I have the embroidered polos are coming in, so I haven't seen them yet, so I've been reluctant to push it out too far there. So, and thank you for the super chat, Victor Echo 5 Sigma Alpha Romeo. Thank you for your support of the show. 73 to you. All right, I'm out of here, everybody. But thank you all for tuning in, and we'll go from there. And Omnitech says that these things cost the same in China, so I guess they're pretty close to what it costs. You think there's like a landed cost involved with this, unless there's no duty on mini PCs. So in any event, even though I talked a lot about the GMK Tech here, which is the value winner of the day, the MSI here is pretty cool. And as you saw, went from nothing with no RAM, no storage, no operating system to Ubuntu in a half an hour. How about that? All right, everybody, I got to run, but thank you all for your support of my efforts here. And let me make sure I didn't miss any other super chats here. Waiting for my browser here to catch up on the Mac. Oh, they all disappeared. Oops. Let's see, make sure I didn't, because these super stickers never show up for me on here, but it looks like I got everybody. So, all right, we are good. So thank you, everybody. And, oh, yes, big boy sizes are there. Unfortunately, and this is out of my control, but they charge more for the larger sizes. So it escalates up as it goes. All right, got to run. But thank you. Yes, baseball cap is coming, Matt. That's on my list of things to set up. I wanted to see the quality of the embroidery first, and then I was going to expand my offerings. So, but yes, I definitely want a baseball cap. All right, everybody. We will talk very soon. Have a good afternoon or evening or morning, wherever you are in the world. Catch you next time. Bye-bye.